Alrighty, welcome back everybody. Today we're going to be building a log gate. We're going to show you how we're going to build one. I watched this video on YouTube about how to build a log gate, so we're going to try it and see how it works. It doesn't take any hinges, it just takes wood and some screws, which we have screws. There are these 6-inch screws. We're using 6 inches. I'm trying to remember. Contractors use them, since Dad is a contractor. He has these, so they're good for these poles. We just finished the fence today, so now we're starting to work on the gate. We'll show you. I'll turn the camera around real quick, and we'll show you our log fence. So you can see our log fence goes all the way over. It goes right behind that hill over there. You can't really see it right now. Anyway, we'll come right back over here. So, first we're going to start here at this post. So, for starters, you're going to need 2 big posts. You're going to need 2 big ones. As you can see, we got 1 and we got 2. These are about 8 inches around, give or take a couple inches or so. So about a 9-inch log would work for this. You could go a little smaller maybe, but we're just using some big heavy posts. We cut these off the forest right behind us. Anyway, and then you're going to need some poles. These are actually pretty thick. You can probably go smaller. Like I would say for this 4 to 3-inch round pole minimum. Should work for this. We're going to need 2. You're going to need a sandwich, basically. You're going to have to sandwich this big post in between 2 poles. Alright, so you got to sandwich them. You got to take them from here, tie them into here, and then the bottom. And then, since we're going to put horses in this area, we have to have, these posts are 5 feet tall. The top rail is 5 feet tall. The bottom rail is 2.5 feet tall. So it's meant for horses. It holds in cows, but it's mainly meant for horses. Anyway, but if you were just doing something for like a gate at your driveway or something, you could just do these two, this one and this one. You don't have to put this little. You see this little rail right here? You don't have to put this one in here if you're just doing it for a driveway. But so basically you're going to need 2 posts and 4 3-inch poles. 4. And then you're going to have to overhang it a little bit. I don't know if you can see this. But you're going to have to stick out about 1 foot, or I'll do a little more, like 15 inches of wood. You need to stick out because that's going to be a hinge. This basically sandwiches this pole right here in here so this can spin. Okay? You gotta sandwich it. And then you kind of need a long one. This one's actually way too long. It's 9 feet tall. We're probably gonna cut it like 6 or 7 feet tall. But it's pretty tall. Anyway, we'll show you how to do everything else. Right now we're starting on it. We just started. So we'll show you how we're going to build this gate. It's going to be a 16-foot gate. Most of everything around our property is going to be 16 feet because we have a tractor, plus we have a plow. So if we have to go through anything, we want a 16-foot gate. We were going to do double gates, like 2 8-foot gates, because then it puts less load on these posts. But we haven't got the wooden fence right here done yet, so we can't do the second 8-foot gate. So we're just going to do one big 16-foot gate. We barely come through this gate. I mean, the only time we come through here is like either to put the horses out in pasture or something.
Or drive here to go feed on the pigs, but we haven't done that.
Yeah, we don't really use this gate. Maybe like 20 times a year or something. I don't know. But anyway, so we're just going to put a 16-foot gate, and it's just going to be, this post is pretty heavy duty. It's 3 feet, these posts are 8 feet tall, and they're 3 feet in the ground. So
Not this one.
this one's 8 feet, and this one's 3 feet.
That's 3 feet.
I was gonna go. If you want to go, I would say you might want to go 4 feet for a gate post, because if you're gonna do a 4 foot deep hole, I would do 4 feet deep, and then you're gonna have to cut a 9 foot post. That's all I think you're gonna have to cut. Anyway, we'll show you how we're gonna do this. We got some poles over here. What we're gonna use. One of the leftovers from there, and then we got this. I'm gonna actually drag this down real quick and cut it. We got these little cut-off pieces from the posters and stuff. This is what we're gonna use to stick under there. Roll it down. There we go. We were using a bigger chainsaw, but now the bigger chainsaw doesn't really want to run, so we're using this little tiny one. It works good. It's the one I was using to cut these post stuff. So it's a good one. It just doesn't really start on the first crank like the bigger one does. It actually might be almost out of feel or something. See how it starts. For some reason this little one, when we got it from the store, just did not work very good. I don't know what is wrong with it. We were going to return it, but we just decided to deal with it. I don't know. Maybe the big one will want to work. So what I just did right there was I marked it. I did 2 marks, top and bottom. This rail is going to go on the bottom of it. So the top rail is going to go right on the bottom, so it's going to have to come down a little bit. Anyway, so we're going to kind of notch this post. We're going to notch it with the pole. And that will give us strength, a little more strength in it. So that's what we're going to do that. You could maybe just screw it in, but I would recommend notching it so then it lasts a little longer. But one thing you're going to want to do is you're going to need, this is about 2 inches. Right here, this 2-inch is a little cutoff. You're going to need about a 2-inch little pole, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Something. I have to cut. I don't know how long this is, but it's decently long. You're going to have to screw this up to here on both sides. So it doesn't, so when you put the pole in here, it's not rubbing against the post. I'll get a screw gun real quick. Anyway, here's the screws I'm talking about. These are what we get. I don't know how much these are, but these are structural screws or something. I think they're called Big Timber. Right there, you can kind of see them. So, yeah. These are what we use. You might have something else at your local hardware store. This is just what our local hardware store had. And also, we're familiar with these screws, so we know how they work and everything. And they work good. So yeah, that's why we just use them. We are familiar with them. Dad uses them at his job, like I said. So he has quite a bit of these laying around everywhere. Anyway, just screw it in there, and these are going to keep it off the post. And then all we need now is to cut this. Let me flip it. We just have to cut this pole on the ground, and actually we have to cut poles. So I gotta come over here real quick. We're gonna lay this on the ground, and then we're going to grab our next piece. This piece of wood, and this is going to be our end piece. So that's going to be the piece that hooks up to the T-post over here to chain it. So we have to cut these out real quick. I believe, let me put this up here real quick. And it's hot today, very hot. So we gotta go on the top right there, and that one right there. It's very hot, it's like 80 degrees or something. Which might not seem like a lot, but we haven't had 80-degree weather in like a while. Anyway, I'll measure these real quick. Alright, these are marked out. We're going to cut these now. And then we'll be able to start pitting this thing together. We'll have to notch this, notch that end, put it together, screw it all together and everything. And then we'll be ready to almost install our gate. Gate pins, I guess you can call them. we're gonna drag them over here. Shut that off real quick. What's this? Anyway, so you just gotta grab your poles that you have, drag them over here, lay them down, stay still. And now we're just going to mark this out and notch it so we know where we are going to cut. Let's kick this over there. And then also, if you have poles that are crowned, what crowned means is where it bows, kind of like a bow. You want to pit the crown up. So when over time the crown straightens out, instead of pitting the crown down, so the bow's pointing up, well, the dip is pointing up, because then it'll just keep on pressing down and break eventually. So you gotta put the crown up on your poles. And you gotta mark this one real quick. Grab up my little screw. Right there should be the mark. So now we're just gonna cut it into the log.